A very good evening and welcome to Date with Tan Sri Dato Sri Dr. Noor Hisham. And today it is the 5th installment, and today we are right here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, our first distinguished guest is an experienced ophthalmologist with extensive clinical expertise in eye health and corneal care. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Associate Professor Dr. Wan Haslina. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, our guest has dedicated much of her work to tissue engineering, regenerative medicine, and also ocular repair. Give it up to Associate Professor Dr. Angela Ng Min Hui. 接下来，让我们以最热烈的掌声来欢迎的就是我们 Biolive 的好朋友，甚至是我们 Biolive 的老朋友啦。我们以最热烈的掌声来欢迎来自台湾的贵宾苏永村博士。And now, ladies and gentlemen, our final distinguished guest is someone whose name needs very little introduction, especially right here in Malaysia. A round of applause for the national pride, our hero and the icon of Malaysia, Tan Sri Dato Sri Dr. Noor Hisham.还记得在那个充满不确定的时期，他以专业、冷静和坚定陪着马来西亚一起走过。And tonight it is our true privilege and honor to have him here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and give your warmest Biolive welcome to Tan Sri Dato Sri Dr. Noor Hisham. 让我们响起最热烈的掌声，有请国民英雄诺希山教授。
So exosome is the extracellular vesicle, a tissue giving a signal or a cell giving a signal for other cells to respond. Meaning cell to cell they can communicate, and depending on what communication, what signal being given, and the cell can grow. So we talk about cell, then when you have enough cell, it becomes a tissue. When you have enough tissue, it becomes an organ. And when we have enough organ of the body, then the function comes in to sustain life.
So what's the advantage of exosome over stem cell? I mean, the last couple of sessions, we discussed a lot about stem cells. Maybe other speakers will talk more about stem cells, but let's talk about the safety. There is actually an issue with regards to stem cell that is uncontrolled growth of the stem cell. When there is uncontrolled growth, we call it a tumor formation. When the tumor formation can spread, we call it cancer. So there's a risk of tumor formation from stem cell therapy. This is a real concern that we have. On the other hand, if you look into the safety of exosome therapy, no replication and no tumorigenicity, meaning there's no potential to develop tumor formation.
Telling us more about restoring vision, the role of stem cells in eye repair, I would like to invite a professor from HUKM, Associate Professor Dr. Angela Ng. 我们掌声有请 Dr. Angela.
Okay, and so what happens if these stem cells are lacking? So these stem cells also serve as like a guardian, a barrier between your cornea and your surrounding sclera, right? There's a piece of thin tissue called conjunctiva covering your white eye. And so it has to prevent it, because you remember that is the window to the world, so it has to be clear. And we also did another study on the optic nerve. So this time we crushed the optic nerve at the back of the eye, and again we injected the cells. We were able to track the cells. We were able to prove that they are human cells in the red by again the specific staining. And at the end, we did a visual evoke potential, a flash visual evoke potential, which means flash the eye and see whether it responded. again, there were functional restoration.
接下来呢，我要有请的这一位呢，是从另外一个角度，他本身就是一位眼科医生，就是有在开刀做手术的那一种。所以呢，我们来听一下他的角度对于所谓的再生医学是如何呢 ？Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, we have a different perspective from an ophthalmologist. And ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming Associate Professor Dr. Wan Haslina. 我们掌声有请。
When we talk about the eye, the reason you now can see me on the stage and the writings on the screen is because of three things. The first is you should have a clear medium, and the clear medium means from tears to the cornea to the lens and the back of the eye, which is the vitreous. And secondly, you all should have good healthy nerve, where the nerve able to pick up lights and process it to be transferred to the back of the brain. And the third one, you should have a healthy brain so that you can actually process the signal from the eye to the area which is involved in seeing vision. Interpreting vision. What is limbal stem cell? Suffice to say, it is an area around the cornea, which is around the black in your eye. Okay, I would say it's called the fountain of corneal surface youth. People go to say that you have to travel to Shangri-La to get the fountain of youth. No, our eye has our own fountain of youth, which is a limbal stem cell.
Then we have another sharing by a very special someone from Taiwan. 接下来呢，就是我们的好朋友，我们的老朋友要来到台上为我们做分享啦。Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Taiwan's Anti-Aging Association. We have Professor Su Yongchen. 我们掌声有请苏博士。
马来西亚的干细胞医学法规还不明确，还没有一个明确法规说我们在马来西亚可以打干细胞来治病、来抗衰老。所以其实像在台湾也一样，但是这个问题我们在10几年前就遇到了。2013年，我们用一个配方，我们登记到美国专利，你吃下一些刚刚讲的，我 echo 一下那个 Professor Angela， 有一些植物成分，吃下去以后，你就会增加你自己的 autologous 的 stem cell。其实这就是东方人啊，我们华人里面的《黄帝内经》讲的，你自己可以产生新的干细胞来抗老。所以你们看吃中药里面有几个字：养生补气、扶正驱邪。黄芪有一个药叫补五脏之虚，原来中药里面可以有修复器官的功能。所有治疗疾病还有对抗衰老，最重要的治疗方式是修复细胞、改善细胞的代谢，还有延缓细胞的老化。各位，你们有没有照顾自己身体的健康的细胞，让你的细胞变年轻？这个就是再生医学，也就是我们今天要讨论的 Regenerative 的 Medicine 再生医学。
非常感谢我们所有的主讲人、所有的贵宾，也感谢今天大家的出席。希望在未来的日子当中，还可以见到大家一起来共襄盛举。Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining today's event, and we hope to see you very soon in the future encounters organized by Biolive. Enjoy the night, enjoy the dinner, and we'll see you very soon.